Well, here she is, boys and girls. So, this is how I set it up. As you see, I ended up using two of the sort of softer rubbers here. I changed this spring out for the lighter gauge spring. These springs are the same. Obviously, you can see this is a lot different setup than normal. I wanted to have this be a more linear, you know, harder clutch press with long travel to kind of emulate my real car setup. And I was able to achieve that. This is actually the first time I had to use less force. You know, with my Sim Magics, the P2000s, I had to basically install extra spacers to make it to where the spring was stronger. With my Fanatic pedals, which are over there, I had to completely change the spring, and I don't know if you can kind of see it. And I removed the camming action entirely to make it to where it had a linear press. With this one, it has the resistance of my real car. It doesn't quite feel as convincing, maybe as the Sim Magic clutch, but it feels like resistance-wise, it is the best and the closest to my real car that I've felt. Same with the brake pedal. The brake pedal is the best feeling brake pedal I've felt that does not have a hydraulic fluid system. Now with the Fanatic damper kit, the Fanatic one does feel better, but that's like another $100-something. Now there is no damper option for the Cammus pedals. That's unfortunate, but you know, maybe someone will come up with one, or maybe Cammus will come up with one. Obviously, I could mod one onto this, you know, relatively easily. There's a lot of mounting points I could utilize to make it to where I could install some kind of a damper kit on here. And maybe I'll try to work on that in the future, but for now, honestly, I'm very happy with how these feel. I didn't think I was gonna be happy with the brake pedal feel because I'm so used to a hydraulic setup. In its lowest position, so you can tell right here, you have a lot of leverage on this. So I'm kind of emulating it like a road car by setting it up like this. But I also have it set up to where it's not full travel here. And same with the clutch, I have it set up to where it is full travel. And then with the throttle, I have it set kind of in the middle. I didn't want too much pedal throw. Now the throttle is probably the weakest of the three pedals in terms of how they feel. I don't like the ridges here. I do wish that they were either less aggressive or completely absent. They're not like small protrusions. They're like some serious semi-squared off. Like if you feel them with your hand, they don't feel sharp. Like they still feel like they're well finished. Like it's not gonna cut you or anything. Like I can rub it, you know, it's not gonna cut me or anything. But they are kind of like squared off. Get you some of them close shots that you've never seen angles before like that, you know. Just some angles, you know what I'm saying? You just never seen it like this before, and no one's ever taken a picture or a video of it like this, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad they didn't do like a thing like where the clutch and the brake and the throttle pedal are the same. You know, it really feels good under the foot to have the brake pedal be wider. It's a very convincing brake pedal feel. Like it almost feels hydraulic. It's I don't know how to explain it besides it feels very convincing. Yet the clutch, I could have more resistance than this, you know, and it's just amazing to me that a company has finally figured out how to make a longer throw for the clutch pedal. Because like on the Fanatic, the throw is like this, like that's the clutch pedal, but this is like it feels like it's double or maybe even triple the distance. There's no pedal wobble. Like there's actually a little bit on that one, but not. Only if I do it really hard. If I do it really easy, the pedal arms are way thicker than I thought they'd be. The pedal plate itself is gigantic. It's super duper thick. Yeah, I mean the hardware is super nice. Like, you know, it's automotive quality. You know, like nothing's gonna break on you. Like they've just made a lot of great choices here. Like this hose stuff, right? This may look like, oh, they cheaped out on the hose or whatever, but you can find this stuff at like automotive shops and stuff like that. So if this ever wears out, you don't need to rely on the company. You can just get 8mm hose. These ball joint things, you can find these at hardware stores. Everything here, besides like the stuff that will never break, you can find at a hardware store and you can replace if you have any issues with it. This whole setup, everything about it it's functional, it's practical. And that's what I love about it, you know? So, okay, here's another thing though I didn't like. This etching right here, this actually catches on your socks and your shoes. This is right where the heel rests, right? So when your heel's on this and you go to like slide your foot to, you know, pressing the throttle or whatever, like the back of your heel can get caught right here. If you put it further forward right here where your heel will never rest, I think that'd be better. And then also, if you could extend it maybe an inch or two out, my heels were kind of like right at the edge here, and that could just be my personal technique, right? But and how you have them set up and mounted definitely matters a lot too. But because you can't really adjust the face of the angle anyway without modding it, I don't think, you know, you can't make it like to where like that's the angle. Now I did end up lubricating this rod here. You take all the rubber stuff off, and you can just literally grease or, you know, put some oil where the shaft is. Try not to use like an oil or a grease that is petroleum based, because that will start to decompose plastic and rubber parts. Yeah, there's the connections for the USB-C. You can see it on both sides there, nice central location. I did choose the pedals in the furthest back and then middlemost position. And you'll notice on the throttle and brake, they're slightly closer together than the clutch and the brake, because when you have too big of a gap, like you have to really stretch your foot and it's really uncomfortable. So it's nice to have like the smaller gap on this side. So it's good that they were thinking in that direction. They are the most solid pedals I've felt under my feet. And that includes the SimMagics too. Like, and that's an $800 pedal set. Now in terms of features, you know, the SimMagic pedals are definitely a better pedal set, but you know, they're more than twice the price, so they should be, right? So if you're just looking for a pedal set that's gonna feel great for a low price, it's hard to argue for the Fanatics at this point. So I'm gonna have to put this rig next to my main rig and then plug it in over there, so it's gonna be kind of awkward to film it. But you might notice that the background is very not like my usual videos, and you also notice that there's a lot of busy stuff everywhere, and that's because this is not permanent. This rig is gonna be given to my father. And my allergies are bad, so, you know, keep that in mind. The monitor is like super far away, so I can't really see all that well. If you press these really super slow, you can see like the notches go up, which isn't a big deal because you can't feel it in game. But, you know, if you're the type to be really picky about that kind of stuff, the bits, these pedals will bother you. If you can get over that, and realize that in game it doesn't seem to really matter. You know, if your throttle position's here, the engine is going, and if you're here, you're going, and if you're here, you're going, it does what it's supposed to do.
Left 4, then right 5, 70, left 6, then right 6, 120, left 4, long, cuts, and left 6, cuts, long, and right 6, 70, left 6, then right 3, don't cut, long, tightens, 50, left 4.
Okay, besides being really far away from the monitor,
100,
I'm not really noticing
left 6, and right 5,
any negative qualities to the pedals.
70, right 6, 70,
You know,
left 6, 40, over bridge.
just being out of my element in general, like with a different wheelbase setup, different wheel, different shifting method, that's throwing me off more than anything. I'm literally like 5 feet away from my monitor and off to the left. The point of the video is, this all works. They're a huge step up from anything Thrustmaster or Logitech makes. They're not the fanciest pedal set, right? Like there are way better pedal sets out there. But how much are you willing to spend, right? So that's the main factor. You know, price to performance ratio is very important to me, especially on this channel. I can say these pedals are great, right? And then someone else can comment on the video or walk up to me in the street and be like, hey, you know those pedals you reviewed? They're garbage. I've got Husingvelds. Those are good pedals. And I would say, okay, well, how much did you pay for those? An insane amount? Yes. Okay, well, they should be better for that price, right? If we're on a regular road, the Geo Metro is gonna do the same job as the Ferrari. A Geo Metro. Actually, it'll do a better job because you won't be able to get a speeding ticket. How long did it take you to get there? You might have to leave maybe 5 minutes earlier because it takes a little bit longer to start it up in the winter time because you need a new fuel pump. But you will get there. You'll get to work. Now, I'm not comparing these to a Geo Metro. I think Geo Metro pedals would be like, you know, those 2 pedal sets where there's like, you know, 2 inches of travel. That would be like a Geo Metro. I would compare these to a Honda Civic. right? Honda Civics are not cheap cars anymore, but back in the 2000s, the 90s, the 80s, and whatever, like, a Honda Civic was synonymous with quality for an affordable price. You know, now they're like $40,000, $50,000, something crazy. I don't know what the prices are, but they're too much. These are the equivalent of, I guess, a used Honda Civic. It's gonna work, and it's gonna get you to where you need to go for many, many, many years, up to 1 million miles, right? It's gonna work. So these are the Honda Civic. The SimMagic are the Ferraris, and the Husingvelds and the other boutique pedals are like the Bugattis, right? They're like hyper good. Final thoughts. Go buy them. I can recommend them. Good price, good quality, Papa John's. Have a good day. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video.